the one, the only, Ben Sion. Good morning and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube, just Daf It. Today we're doing Masechah Sotah, Daf Zion number 7. We'll start from the Mishnah on top of Zion and Aleph. Kezad Osala, talking about the Sotah. He warned her, she's secluded in front of two Eidim. Now he has to bring her to Beis Din. We'll see, to the Yerushalayim to drink the Mei Sotah. The Mishnah is going to discuss the actual procedure, exactly what happened. Well, we call it Beis Din. They bring her to Beis Din, Shabbos Makom. First, they bring her to Beis Din in their city. Most in Lo Shedam Nechamim, he testifies, I warned her. They bring two Eidim that she's secluded, fine. So she's now a Safek Sotah. Avadai Sotah, where there's Eidim that she committed adultery. There's no process of Mei Sotah, by Avadai Sotah. Most of the Talmidei Chachamim, they give two Talmidei Chachamim, appoint them to her to follow her to Yerushalayim, to escort her to Yerushalayim. Shema Yavo Alev Derech. The reason they gave is because we'll see, explaining the Gemara, that we're concerned the husband is going to also come with her. He might cohabit with her. Might cohabit. Sound like art scroll. Be together with her. Have a sexual encounter with her on the way, and that's a problem because first of all she has to with him. And if he is with her, then the Mesot don't help. So it's imperative that he's not together with her. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, Bala Neman Aleh. Rabbi Yehuda says her husband is Neman. You don't need two Talmidei Chachamim to make sure she does not with her. Her husband's believed, just like the Gemara compared to a Nida. Right, a husband can be miyachid with his wife when she's a Nida. We trust them. They're not going to violate the Israel of Kares, of Nida. And where it says Trey, only two Talmidei Chachamim. Sorry, Trey, you need two Talmidei Chachamim v'yu. Oh, the husband's also coming. That's three. Hatlasa, you have three. Lemisayeh leila Rav. It's a proof. Say it's a proof to Rav. The Amar of Yehuda Amar Rav at the end of Masechus Kedusha. Lo shana ela be'ir. The whole halacha, right? The Mishnah at the end of Kedushin. Well, that's so funny. The Mishnah says at the end of Kedushin that a woman can be miyached with two men. Not with one man, with two men, it's okay. But that's only talking about in the city, right? Aval, b'derech adika shlosha, if they're on the way, if they're on a path, they're traveling a decent amount of distance. One of the people might go to the bathroom. And therefore we're going to have yichud. That's a problem. So therefore you need three, because one might go to the bathroom. Here they go on the derech to Yerushalayim. There's a low. It's not a proof. The reason is they should be witnesses, right? Talmidei Chachamim are the witnesses if the husband cohabits together with his wife on the way, so that the Eidim will be two witnesses for the Eidei Tumah. Now, technically, only one witness for the Eidei Tumah, but for some reason, you need two witnesses over here just to make sure. That's why I said before that there's a fundamental difference. I talked about yesterday in Ben Sion. There's a fundamental difference if there's two Eidei Tumah and one Eidei Tumah. Even though one Eidei Tumah, right, makes her usher to a husband, it's only B'Torah's Chazaka. It's not B'Torah's Puraya, right? And therefore, there's a difference between, like yesterday, the Mayan Bodkin also, what exactly happens if she were to drink if there's Eidim Tumah, one Eid Tumah, right? The water would actually, if there's two Eid Tumah, the water doesn't work at all. She can have children. If there's two, right, the water doesn't work at all. There's one Eid, maybe it does work, and she just can't have children. According to Rav Sheshes, so we pass like. So the Gemara says they should be sahadi. Talmidei Chachamim. So the Gemara again makes an inference. Talmidei Chachamim, specifically they give her two Talmidei Chachamim, people that are learned people. Kuli amalo, regular people not. Lemisayeh leidach the Rav. To prove the others teaching Rav. The Amar Rav Yehuda Amar Rav lo shana alak sherin. Aval prutzin afilo asar namila. We said that the Mishnah Masechus Kedusha in the end says that a woman can be yachid with two men. That's only men that are kosher. We don't suspect them of doing something, of being involved with women. About prutzin, people that sleep around. I feel asar not regular people are prutzin. Talmidei Chachamim are not prutzin. Everyone else is prutzin. I feel asar nami low. Even if 10 people can't be together with her, they'll all take advantage of her at the same time. There was an incident that actually happened. 10 people took out a woman to bury her. They faked that she was dead. They put her in a coffin. They took her out to the field, and they gang raped her. Here the reason is You need to tell them nechamim because you need hasra. You have to warn her. She gets malchus, right? If she is together with the husband, she gets malchus. Talmid Chachamim know the language of the hasra. You have to warn someone before you give them malchus. That's why. Rabbi Yehuda Omer Baila Tanya. Rabbi Yehuda Omer Baila Neman Mikal V'Chomer. Her husband. You don't need two Talmid Chachamim. Her husband is believed not to be together with her. Ma nida she bekaris Baila Neman alel. A husband can be miyachid with his wife was a nida, right? Where it's more severe. If they're together, it's kares. Sotah. She belav lo kol shekin Sotah, which is only a violation of a lav. Certainly, where we trust him. Rabbanan. Rabbanan say the opposite. He ain't no senes. It's exactly the opposite. Neither the kares chamirle. If they're together, it's a violation of kares. It's more significant to him. He's not going to violate that. He's trustworthy not to violate kares. So the lav. So there's only a lav. People are not so careful with the lav. Lo chamirle. It's not significant to him, and he'll violate it. V'lo mehem. Not believe. Rabbi Yehuda. The Gemara says, Rabbi Yehuda be kal v'chomer ma'aseh. Did he bring it from a kal v'chomer? How Rabbi Yehuda mikray ma'aseh? If it didn't brisa, which you're going to see, Rabbi Yehuda derived that she doesn't need Talmid Chachamim to escort her from the pasuk, from the Torah, not from logic. The Sanya, the pasuk, the brisa says, "V'hevi ha'ishes ha'ishto el hakohen." Minat Torah, the pasuk says the husband brings his wife to the kohen to Yerushalayim. Minat Torah, midoraisa ha'ish mevi as ishto. Amru Chachamim said, Moshe lo shedei Chachamim. Shema Yaval Derech. It's a Zera Darabban, and they said Talmid Chachamim. This is the opinion of Tana Kama. The Gemara is going to discuss this. Rabbi Yossi Omer Bala Neman Aleh Mikal V'Chomer. Rabbi Yossi said the husband is believed from Mikal V'Chomer. You don't need two Talmid Chachamim. But man needs Shiva Kares Bala Neman Aleh Nida, which is more severe. Kares, the husband's believed not to be together with his wife in privacy. Sotah Shiva Lav L'Koshek, and Sotah, which is only a lav. Certainly he's believed. Amru Lo. The Rabbanan said to him, Lo, Amras Benida Shkin Yesh Heter. Anida, she's asur now, but she can mutter later. So he's trustworthy not to be with her. Tomer b'sotah she'en la heter. She'll never be muteres, right? She'll never be muteres to him again, right? Especially if she was together with him, with the man. Additionally, right? Because she's asura to him forever, it's sweet. The things that are asur forever are sweeter. So therefore, there's more of a reason to suspect he'll be with her. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, the Brisa continues. Yehuda says, "Minat Torah ish maybe as ishto min al kohen shneimar v'hivi ish etzishto." Rabbi Yehuda says it's doraisa. The pasuk says the man brings his wife. So why before he said a kal v'chomer, he's bringing a pasuk. The Gemara says, "Amar lehu kal v'chomer reisha." First he said the kal v'chomer to Rabbanan perchua, like before. The Rabbanan responded, "It's not a good kal v'chomer." Amar lehu kra, and then in the Brisa he responded with a pasuk. So the Gemara says, Rabbi Yehuda hainu Tana Kama. Rabbi Yehuda is basically the same thing as Tana Kama in this brisa. The question is whether the Chachamim made a gzeira. According to Tana Kama, Chachamim made a gzeira. You need to make a Chachamim. According to Rabbi Yehuda, they never made that gzeira. The Mishnah says, "Ayu ba'alin osel beis in Agal Yerushalayim." They bring her to the Sanhedrin. The Lishkas Hagazis, 71 dayanim, 71 judges in Sanhedrin. They would frighten her. If you look at the Masech Sanhedrin, when someone there's Adam that says that someone committed a capital crime, we frighten them because we want to make sure they're trustworthy. They try to convince her to admit the truth, if it wasn't true that she committed adultery. Wine does a lot. If you're engaged in laughing too much, if you're childlike, it's going to cause you to do averas. You might have bad neighbors. Right, admit so that the name of Hashem shouldn't be erased in the water. That's one of they do. They take a parchment, they erase Hashem in the water before giving her the Mesod. They say things which it's probably better not to be heard, her and her entire family. If she admits, she says, I'm Tmeya, she breaks her ksuva. Literally means she breaks her ksuva. The symbol explanation is she gives her a receipt to her husband and says, I committed adultery, you don't owe me a ksuva. Because if later on she'll try to collect her ksuva, he'll have the receipt to show that she committed adultery. And she leaves without a ksuva. V'amra tahor, yes, megarish. V'amra tahorani, if she says no, she insists, I did not commit adultery, Malin Usal Shara Mizrach, Shal Pesach Shar Nikanor, they went to the easternmost gate. That it's close to Shar Nikanor. Shal Mashkenes HaSotos, that's the place designated for giving the mace Sotah to the Sotah. Matarnes also over there, the Yolet is the one who gave birth. She has to bring certain korbanos after either 40 days or 80 days, depending if it was a girl or a boy. And she has to stand by Shar Nikanor. Matarnes and Mitzorah, also by Shar Nikanor, they also used to sprinkle the blood on the Mitzorah when he completed his Tara. They sprinkled blood from the birds. If Kohen Ochez B'gadeh, a Kohen would grab hold of her clothes, and Nikru, he takes them off. If they rip, they rip. If Nifru, if they were shorn, literally, shorn, but Kriya is when they get ripped. Niframu is just basically when they completely get ripped, they're severed. Aju Megales Liba, he has to make sure to unveil her breast. The Soseh at Sarah, he unbraids her hair, or he takes her hair out of whatever, a bun or a half pony. We'll talk more about this Niyat Ben Sion. This is the Makor, this is the source. The Torah says the Paras Rosh Isha, that's the source for shaitels. Women have to cover their hairs. I'm going to talk about shaitels. Do women actually have to wear shaitels? It's so clear from the Torah and the Gemara that women have to cover their hair. Married women have to cover their hair. You'll be shocked to hear what I'm going to say about this. And I think it's very clear. I don't know this. I'm going to put a lot of sheitel machers out of business. Sheitel machers, even if they like me, they're going to start. They're going to run away from me and ruin their business. So those are at Sarah. It's a crazy business, this sheitel machers. I'm telling you. You got to buy the sheitel. You got to buy a new one every 2 or 3 years. Some of them cost like $5,000-$10,000. Then every month or two, you got to send it to a sheitel macher to redo it because it falls down all the time. To wash it and to restyle it. It's crazy, this business. It's a business that is built out of nothing. So said Sarah, if she had nice breasts, lo yamagaleo, he would not unveil it. People would be too attracted to her. If her hair was too beautiful, lo yasosra, he wouldn't let it down, right? A woman's hair could be beautiful. It could be beautiful if it's let down. Some women look better when their hair is dressed up. It's made. It's held in a bun or a ponytail, or a half pony. She's wearing white clothes or nice clothes. He would put on ugly clothes. She was wearing nice gold jewelry on top of Zion base of a katlios, or she's wearing a choker, which really means a fancy necklace, the zamim, or she's wearing nice earrings with tabos, nice rings on her finger, nice diamond rings. They take it off of her in order to embarrass. They wanted her to admit if she committed adultery. Maybe chevel on mitzri. They take an Egyptian rope, they tie it above her breasts. We call it rotel liros, bal liros. That, when you do that to a woman, it doesn't make her attractive. Everyone who wants to see it, they can come see. Except for her servants or maidservants. Once she sees them, my familiar faces, she'll feel okay, and she won't admit to the truth. They want her to be completely embarrassed. And all the women, at least, are allowed to look at her. That all the women should see. The Pasuk says in Yechezkel, they should see that the disgrace of the woman, and they shouldn't do like her. Whereas Menani Mili, where do you know this? That you bring her to the base in Agar Yerushalayim. Ask her Torah. Dira Shoah, Torah. Siv Hachav Asala Kohen. It's called a Torah. It says the Kohen should do the entire Torah. This is by going to Sanhedrin, right? Azak and Mamre. You should listen to whatever Sanhedrin instructs you. Malahala and B'Shivim Ve'echad, just like over there, we're talking about the base in Agad, Yerushalayim, the base in Mikdash. Avkam B'Shivim Ve'echad. Here also, it's to the Makom Mikdash you go. Ma'amin Aleha, Raminhu, we frighten her. Raminhu, the Bryce says, Kederach Ma'amin Aleha Shalatase, Kach Ma'amin Aleha Shetishte. Just like we frighten her not to drink, we also, there's a point you actually frighten her to drink. If you know that you're really pure at, stick with it. Vishasi, and drink the water. It's just like a dry medicine, a poisonous dry medicine. If you put it on live skin where there's no wound, if there's a wound there, it's open, it'll go into the body and it'll kill you. It's not going to hurt you at all. Lo kasha. Somebody says, before we erase Hashem. We put it in the water and erase it. So we frighten her. We don't want that to happen. So we frighten her not to drink, to admit. Once that's already happened, then we say, go through with it and drink. You tell her things which draw her heart. Things which happen, stories that happen in the Bible. Plus it's in Eov, things that the Chamim speak, and they didn't hide from them. Yehuda Hoda. What type of things did we tell her? Yehuda Hoda v'lo bosh. Yehuda admitted that he sinned with Tamar, and he wasn't embarrassed. Maya Sofa. What happened to him? He inherited Olam Haba. Reuven Hoda v'lo bosh. Reuven admitted to his sin, right? That he switched the Yitzue Aviv. He switched his father's bed from Rachel's tent to Leah's tent. V'lo bosh. He wasn't embarrassed. Maya Sofa. He also inherited Olam Haba. Maschar and Kedamrina. What's their reward? What do you mean? What's their reward? They get Olam Haba. What schar did they get Olam Hazeh? Lahem levadam nas na'aretz v'la'avar zar b'tocham. The pasuk in Eov continues. To them themselves was given the land, and no stranger passed among them. Bishlama Yehuda Ashkechan Odi. By Yehuda we find that he admitted to the truth. The pasuk says, he said Sadka. He says she's right. Many. I had the child with Tamar. Ela Ruvain minolan. The Odi. How do you know Ruvain admitted? To the end of Zosa Bracha, Moshe gives blessings to the tribes. Reuven should live and shouldn't die. Yehuda. The next pasuk says this is for Yehuda. Why is Yehuda and Reuven juxtaposed? Kol Shanim, the more Darshan, the Kol Shanim Shayi Yisrael in Midbar, all the years when they were in the Midbar, even though the bones of all the other ones of the Shnei Esrei Shvatim people, the brothers, their bodies were intact. Yehuda's bones were not intact. They were rolling around in the Aron. It's very painful like that. Moshe asked for mercy. Who caused Reuven to admit the truth that he switched his father's bed? Yehuda. Vizos Yehuda. And this is what happens to Yehuda. Miyad Shem Hashem called Yehuda. And he praised him. Hashem, hear the voice of Yehuda. So one time Moshe prayed for him. Ali Vari Lashafa. So his bones went back into their joints. However, they still wouldn't bring him to the Yeshiva Shalmala to be able to learn Torah there. But even with Tevienu. So therefore, the next passage, the passage continues: bring him into his nation, let him learn. He was able to enter the base measure. He wasn't able to argue with anyone. So therefore, the next pasuk says that he should be able to use his hands to argue. He wasn't able to win an argument, to present a halacha, a clear halacha. The pasuk continues, he should have help from his enemies, from the people that argue with him. The reason Yehuda admitted publicly to the Sar of Tamar shouldn't be burned. She's about to be burned. He shouldn't have admitted in public. Right? If you sin in private, you shouldn't admit it in public. Right? It's considered brazenness to do this. And I guess this matter was known that Yaakov's bed was switched, so therefore people shouldn't suspect his brothers. They should know it was him. The Mishnah says she's Tzmeani. Shoveres ksuvas, she breaks her ksuva. Shmas mina kosin show. You see around Mishnah that you have a ksuva. You don't instead of her giving him the ksuva, right? Well, she would never be able to collect it again. She holds on to the ksuva. She writes a receipt to him. It's machlokas by a shtar when someone owes someone money, right? And then you pay off the loan. Do you get the actual loan document, or do you just get a receipt that you paid? So we see from our Mishnah, it's a proof that you write receipts and you keep the loan document. Amar Abaye, Tani mekaras. Search the word. It's the shover is the wrong word. Mekaras rips it up. Rav of the Sharmale, Rav hashoveres. You can't change the word. It says shoveres. It sounds like to break, but also lashon shover, a receipt. Our Mishnah is talking about a place where the minhag was not to write ksuvos. There was no ksuva, so there's nothing to rip up, right? She's nothing to give to him. So therefore, she writes her receipt. How would she collect her ksuva? The way it was in a makom shein kosim kush, she'd bring her get, right? So that's why there's no other alternative over there. So therefore, she writes him a receipt that I was committed adultery, and therefore you don't have to pay him the ksuva. We'll stop over here. This is the conclusion of today's share. Stay tuned for Yom Ben Sion. We'll talk about the famous halacha that a married woman has to cover her hair. It's derived from Sotah and from a Mishnah Pararosh Aisha. I'll talk more about that. Eon of Ben Sion. You're not going to want to miss it coming up next.